Hello, people. It's been a little while since I've recorded a tool video, but I really had to do this time round because I just couldn't help but share the awesomeness of this tool. So some of you may or may not be aware, but I've been in SEO for probably about 15 years now. A key component of SEO is doing keyword research, or topical research, as we like to call it now, to find ways that people search for our products and services, and just how people behave when they go through the different stages of how they make decisions online, or using Google and Bing specifically. So yeah, keyword research is a key component to that. And I've been testing a tool called Voxel and working with the guys on giving them some feedback on how it works and some feature ideas. But essentially, something I've been looking for years is a way to collate and theme keyword data into groups and subsections of how people search, but then also be able to visualize the potential of search volume, what the traffic returns would be, how the traffic behaves, what the seasonality is. That is usually a secondary part of the work. So the collation, theming, clustering, as most of you know, I also work with Keyword Insights, IO, and also Asked. I use those tools quite frequently as well for that kind of area of the work. What makes this tool slightly differently is that it does allow you to visualize opportunity and ranking data, and actually you can export that data directly to Google Slides and then amend it yourself with commentary and all of the additional information you want to provide either your stakeholders or clients. So let me just give you a quick rundown of Voxel. So yeah, next level keyword research. You can collect keywords. So at domain level, you can manage keywords and theme them. You can analyze the data and actually, like I say, visualize that data and output quite succinctly, actually. I can't remember if they've got some stats here. Yeah, so these are some of the example outputs. But let me actually go into the tool and show you a working way, real life way of how it works. So I picked a random domain. I don't work with JD Sports, although I think I could offer some cool insights as to how we could grow traffic there. But that aside, yeah, I don't work with JD. I picked JD as a site that we can use for this test. Now, assuming you've signed up, you know how to set up a project, that's all really straightforward in the tool. It's very seamless. It's not something that I need to run you through today for you to get a feel for what the tool actually does. I plugged in the JD site into this tool to collect some data. I actually had to use the m.JD Sports domain. The tool scrapes the information and gets keyword ranking data on the mobile version. So JD still run an m. site on mobile. Feel free to Google it yourself on your mobile. You'll see the m. version being returned. So when I first tried to get the data, I was getting like 100 plus ranking keyword stats because I actually plugged in the non-m. or desktop equivalent or the other device equivalent normal domain. But once I changed that, I could get the ranking data here. But essentially, once you get into the tool, the first stage of the tool is to collect keyword data. Now, this has got a number of options you can use. You can plug in your own exact keyword, so you could export that data from Keyword Insights, SEMrush, Ahrefs. You can collect all that data if you want to, plug in also Asked information if you wanted to do that manually yourself, and just plug that into this for the initial collation. Now, what I did for speed here, just so I can show you how it works, is I actually used domain ideas as the option. So I plugged in the JD domain into this box and asked it to collect the queries it knows about or can see that the domain is relevant for. Now, it pulls in quite a bit of brand, but it does also pull in some generic here like tracksuit bottoms and some of the other keywords that JD ranks for. But if you wanted to explore like more queries, which this definitely does, you can plug in URLs. So you could take a certain search result for a specific category, for example, and plug that in here, which I do quite frequently for re-merchandising stores, like just to find out what they rank for, if there are any other gaps that we've got with categorizations. You can plug in some keywords, and this will add keywords related to the keywords you plug in. It does use the Google Ads suggesting feature. You can also look at some autocomplete, so plug in keyword ideas and it will automatically fetch. It will do the ABC method of keyword research, add in numbers, add in questions as well, so which, are, when, how, that kind of stuff. Comparisons, again, I use this when I have to really try and find like niche keyword combinations that perhaps are a bit tangential. I do also sometimes use Keyword Insights Reddit scraper, grab some of those, plug them into this as well, just to try and find new ways that people search that you wouldn't usually find. But it's actually got a combination tool, which I won't run through today, but it's like the old sheets that we used to build, which will take keyword variations and can run a number of combinations, which will give you thousands of keywords, right? But for now, I use the domain ideas tool just to give you a flavor of how this fetches info. Now, once you've fetched the data the way that you would like to, there's an add rank data section, which then allows you to fetch the ranking information for all of those queries. It will fetch the domains ranking, but also anything else it can find across the SERPs, which then gives you this domain feature, which again, like I said, I had to edit to M. just to get the ranking data, but based on it, what it then sees in the SERPs for those queries that you fetched, it will fetch the domains rankings, which are here for JD. You can see some quite high positions. There's some hybrid queries being searched for here, including JD plus intended keyword. But then actually, if you go slightly broader, grey tracksuit bottoms, position 12. Up here, we've got Air Max. We've got Nike Tech Fit tracksuit and tracksuit bottoms. And actually, there are more variations like that, like men's specific and gender specific searches, which if we go through, there are some interesting opportunities to essentially look at here. But I'll show you how I then get into clustering or theming keyword groups for opportunity sizing. I chose to use M. I then had one of the options to add Sports Direct as a competitor. I chose Sports Direct because it's not a direct brand site like Nike or Adidas. But if you wanted to go a bit broader, maybe see some other competition sizing, you could choose a giant like Amazon, which obviously ranks for everything, and eBay for new and second-hand or pre-loved, as everyone likes to call it now, keyword queries. So you can actually plug in more. So if there are competitors here that you don't see, you can just go add competing domain and plug in wherever you like from the SERPs. But I'll use Sports Direct as an example. Now, bearing in mind that this has already fetched the SERPs, and if you were to click on one of these positions, you can see up to, I think it's the top 50, top 45 domains per SERP. That's what I've been seeing anyway. If you add that domain, you can actually choose to show that domain's rankings next to the keyword research that you do. So in here, this is now plugged in Sports Direct and all of its keywords and related to the queries we've pulled. So really good way of already then fetching all the ranking data you want. Now, if you want to know what the ranking URL is, you can also plug that in. So it will show you next to each section what the ranking URLs are once it's got them. Obviously, where there's no ranking, it doesn't give you a ranking URL. But for now, we don't need that for this level of analysis. So yes, fetching and grabbing domain level data is really easy, which is a really useful way of like capturing information. Again, third party plus Voxel's own database, which is actually pretty good. The next interesting part comes in, sorry, let me go back, is in the tagging. So you can essentially start adding tagging groups in terms of just what the search queries look like. Now, I will usually try and emulate some of the main topics and or navigational structures of the site that I'm looking at. So, for example, I may want to go, okay, for this tag group, I will do main categories. So main categories. And in here, I may want to see, okay, how do we just rank for women's, men's, and kids and accessories? No, I'll leave accessories. We'll just go with this as a main tag group. Now, what this will do, if I then ask it to go, right, how many queries have we got across each one of these categories and main tag groups? I can ask it to auto tag. So what I usually do is say, right, if you find this query or synonym of the query anywhere in the keyword, it doesn't conflict, which it will resolve automatically and try and find the best place for it to sit. Look at all keywords and ask it to confirm. It will now go and look at every single one of these queries that we've collected and try and categorize them into these tags. And you'll see here, it will start applying tags on the right-hand side. Now, it hasn't picked up kids. It could be that I need children's, which you can then edit, by the way. So you can go in here and you can go, right, it hasn't picked up kids. I can edit this tag to go children, save. And I can then ask it to re-tag, again, based on all, anywhere in the keyword. And it will then go and find other related tags for those queries. So here you go, look, it started picking them up. Anyway, you get the point. It will start automatically putting keywords into certain categories for you. Now, if you look at JD, you can see that some of the things that is quite common across a lot of these categories here are like clothing or footwear types. So footwear, you've got trainers, running shoes, football boots. Across clothing, you've got t-shirts, shorts, tracksuits, polos, polo tops, etc. So you could, using this tool, you could go, right, cool, I want to create a new group and I want to see how I rank and perform across clothing. And this will all make sense once I show you the insights part of this tool. So let's say, cool, we want tag groups across clothing and we want jackets, tracksuit. What else did we have? Shorts. We'll go hoodies, sweatshirts, I think are common. Yep. And you can see actually they've done a good job of organizing the orders by what people would actually want. By category, hoodies, sweatshirt, and let's pick a couple more. So tops, jeans. Let's see, jeans, tops. Let's plug them. This is only an example, right? You can do a lot more. So I will then go, cool, look at all queries anywhere in the query itself, and it will go away and then go and find ranking keywords. So that's why tops and jeans, I added those together. Let me just quickly edit. So tops, save, remove. I will add another, which is jeans. Continue, submit. Right, let's retag those quickly. All keywords anywhere in the query. So this doesn't get too long as a video. I'll just show you what this then does. So, okay, it hasn't found anything for jeans. That's fine. I mean, I could add in more queries that aren't domain specific and it might find it. It might be just the tool hasn't quite found all the queries yet. Now, here's where the magic comes in. So it's looked at everything I've added in and it's tagged it by these queries, these specific categories. So main categories, children's, men's, women's, and then clothing types. Now here I could then add trainers, right, which could go running, or if they go footwear. So they've got footwear menus, high tops, running shoes, which let me add that because obviously JD are quite well known for those things. So let me just add footwear. I do want to show you the auto generate function. I don't use it a lot right now, but it's quite cool, which it's almost like it does some auto clustering, figures out the tags, and then gives you some examples, which you can use as a way of getting some inspiration. So let's add in footwear in here and add in trainers, running shoes. What else do I have? Football boots. What else did they have? High tops and boots. Might be too close to football boots. Let's leave them. Let's add that in and then auto tag, keywords, and confirm. So this is going to go away and find running shoes. Let me see one that's not tagged. Shoes. May have been a bit too specific. Let's put in running. I'll leave that for now. I would amend that to something like running specific, to be a bit more specific, but let's leave that. I'll amend this. I'll remove high tops and running shoes for now. And let me just show you one more feature. So I'll show you that feature after I've now shown you the insights part. So it makes collation really easy, and tagging by category type or theme type really easy. Now, if we go back to domains, let's add Amazon, because Amazon are everywhere, right? And let's show Amazon as a URL, and you can see here's Amazon now added as a domain that we're going to analyze. So we've got 3 domains. We've got keywords tagged by how do we want to see the data in terms of analysis. Now this is where the cool stuff comes in. So I mean, not only will this do rank tracking, which I haven't set up obviously because this is an example, and it will show you rank tracking by keyword group, so really good for reporting. But you could actually build a content plan if you wanted to out of this. So once this is finished scraping the JD site for all of its URLs, you can actually start mapping individual keyword groups to the pages that you want to rank for. That's for another video. But let's go to the insights part. Now, this is the cool stuff. So if we go to keywords, I've collated them all. I've tagged them, as I said, which is here. If there's anything irrelevant, you can just select it and archive it. And so it doesn't get classified in this search or in the data, but for now we won't do that. You will spend a bit of time removing stuff you don't like. Not a lot, thankfully. So now we've done all this. This is the cool stuff. So based on everything I've ingested and how I've tagged it, this has shown me, right, cool. So you've collected 1,933 keywords, total monthly searches available. Now this is impressions, not clicks, based on click-through rates, is 512,000. And if we went off a target click-through rate of rankings between 1 and 3, here's some extra volume available a month, essentially, which is 95,000 clicks a month. This is the cool stuff, right? You can actually show this data by what you've tagged. So if we said, right, just everything across men's, women's, children's, here's the potential volume. You can see these numbers change, right? Here's the potential volume across clothing. Now, this will obviously be a lot higher. I've only looked at certain keyword groups. There's probably a lot more you can ingest. And here's the stuff across footwear. So you can actually see this data at tag level and category level that you've done yourself. Some things to add. You can style things in your own colors. So if I pick Voxel theme, I can change the color. If I do this, look, I can actually change how I want this to show. Now, what's really cool is you can essentially export all of the slides, and you can then download these slides. So if I choose to save all for now, let me just show you. You can export them all in Google Slides. Let me just quickly do that. So once that is done, I can show you a working example. Now, here's some of the data. So it then, based on that keyword level data, pulls trend by month, which you can then also show by categories. So like how does the search volume behave based on the category itself, as well as if you then decided to add more tag filters you could. So it shows you demand by month. It shows you the demand trend over the last 3 years. Is it up or down? Now, obviously, some of these online stores, demand was obviously high in 2021. 2020, 2021, and there was obviously a lot of stuff bought online. You can choose to shorten the time range if you like, but this is where the cool stuff comes in. So it shows you volume intervals, so volumes 1 to 10, 0 to 10, and like just how big the volumes are by interval. So like, are the volumes more than 1,000 searches a month? And then they cascade all the way down. And combined, what percentage do they all make up? And you can again filter, just assume you can filter all these slides by the tag groups you've created. And this is where the cool stuff comes in. So you can then see demand by topic. So if I add in clothing and footwear, where does the demand come in by these sections? What are the combinations? So you could, how are people searching? Main categories plus footwear, those keywords overlap, and the categorization of the search looks good there. Like subtopics demands, so all of the subtopics are created in those tags by the categories, shows you where the volume is, shows you demand by keywords. So in clothing, Nike Tech Fit tracksuit has got the highest volumes, and then across the main categories, how does it work across footwear, etc. There are some really cool slides here, like keyword specificity. So, are they long tail or short tail keywords? How does that look by main topic? But then this is some of the comparative stuff that is really cool. And I won't run through all of this, but I just wanted to give you a flavor of how some of it works, because I use it in my day-to-day work to surface insights to clients and people I work with. So like demand ranking distribution. So what percentage of the total search demand are within each rank interval? So like positions 1 to 3, 93% of those keywords rank. But as we saw, a lot of hybrid queries with brand. Like, how does this rank across main topics? What does this look like? What are the top volume keywords? So what drives the most? And then visualize highest volume. And then you've got like top volume by rank. So here are the rank intervals that you can see here, but then shows you which highest volume keywords and in which position do they actually rank in. It shows you best pages by traffic once this loads. So, store locator, rank, but then you can actually sort this by like volume and how people search, and then gives you performance. So this is again going to be quite biased because I use just the domain keyword level entry stuff, and obviously a lot of that's going to be ranking, but it shows you like visibility out of all the keywords we've collected. Where does that sit in terms of visibility? Now, you can actually change this target CTR to be, we want to see the volume based on an average CTR that any keywords that we want to rank for rank anywhere between position 1 and position 10. And that will obviously bring the average click-through rate for clicks down, because you're spreading it across not just the first 3 results, but the first 10 results. We know sometimes it's not just 10 blue links as well, right? So it's probably worth broadening that slightly. And then this is the really cool stuff. You can start estimating market potential. So based on JD, as an example, if we wanted to rank anywhere in the first 10 positions, and let's say the average order value, we take a guess, is £79. If we were to take additional traffic based on the volume available, it spits out like, what's the potential traffic at an 8.2% click-through rate? What conversions are, what's the conversion rate, which you could plug in at 3% if you wanted to for e-com, and then what additional revenue could you get through from that additional traffic? So it's actually really useful. It shows you a competitive landscape. So if I plugged in Amazon Sports Direct, you can see that obviously, because it's a hybrid query set of data, JD Sports visibility is the highest, but if you added in a load more generic queries, this would obviously look a lot more competitive, because there wouldn't be brand level queries that are being searched for there. It spits out ranking, visibility, and traffic. It spits out best competitor keywords as well, so you can then actually look at, okay, what does Sports Direct rank for? What are Amazon doing well for? But just bear in mind that this is, again, returning stuff based on the keywords that we've collected, which you can make as sizable as you like. You can, go into hundreds of thousands of keywords with this tool. You can look at competitors by main topics, or where do they perform across footwear, clothing, and main categories. Again, the hybrid thing to consider here in terms of JD being in a lot of these queries. And that then gives you a really holistic view of the data. Now, if I just show you quickly how easy it is to export the data, if we go to Save Charts and I go to Slides section, this is now exported all that information, all that work I've done into slides, which I can, if I want to, edit the theme as well, change the colors, and then actually start putting in some commentary for the actual information that I want to talk about, whether that's client or stakeholder specific. Then actually exports all that data for you, which you don't have to do yourself. It's pretty amazing. And you'll see how easy it is to amend this as well. So let's say we go back and I go, right, I want more generic stuff in here. This is all quite specific to JD. I could go, cool, I want some domain ideas, right? And I could go to domains, take Sports Direct, which obviously is going to be doing very well across generic visibility, right? I could go to add keywords, domain ideas, Sports Direct. I could say add rank data if I wanted to. So confirm. It will then automatically go and fetch those queries, which it's doing now. If you look in this corner, so you can see here, it's processing Sports Direct. It's scraping the URLs and it's now starting to plug in additional queries. And you can see here, it's now plugged in additional queries that we didn't have, which may or may not be relevant, which you can then weed out yourself, right? So if you don't want walking boots, you can filter out walking and boots in this tool. So walking boots, if you hit enter, it will return only those once it's finished. There you go. Once it's finished fetching the data, it will work faster. But you can see here, if I don't want anything to do with walking boots, I can just select all and archive. But I won't do that now, just so you can see how all of this works. Now this has gone away and based on the JD site, started fetching this keyword level data for Sports Direct. And it's actually added another 1,600 keywords to this list. And you'll see what I mean shortly once all of this is re-added in. So if I go to tagging and then I say, right, cool, I've got some more keyword data for you to auto tag. You can then pick untagged keywords only, hit confirm, and it will go off and now fetch any other keywords that it's found, which you can see it's now added more data here. We can do the same for clothing and we can do the same for footwear, and it will just go and add more queries, which you can see here it's done, and it's added a lot to trainers and a lot to football boots. So now you can see, look, we've got additional ranking data for all of that. When I said add ranking data, it just automatically fetches the keywords and requests the ranking data itself. Now, if we go back to Insights, which you could then re-export if you want to, it's updated this information. So I've selected a target CTR of top 10. It's got all the keyword, it's got all the additional monthly searches, and the monthly traffic potential has gone up by about 30K. The demand curve has changed. You can then see like search behavior is higher. Topic combinations slightly change. And then you can actually see ranking distribution has now changed because we haven't got all those hybrid queries going on with JD. This looks obviously a lot more spread out than we had before, which is like before was very specific, right? So if we then go to site potential and we go for main topic ranking distribution, you'll see there's a lot more stuff here now that's perhaps not in the top 3 positions that we didn't have before because we've grabbed a lot more data. And the competitive landscape will now look different. You'll see here Sports Direct has shot up because we've added a load more Sports Direct data in terms of queries. And best competitor keywords will change, and then performance will change in terms of visibility. You'll see here now this visibility has gone down by 39% because we've added Sports Direct level of keywords. Now, obviously, the good thing here is there is quite a lot of overlap, so you can start maybe more specifically filtering down into more specific areas around keyword clusters. As you saw, JD's got a load of categorization that you could plug in And then lastly, the thing I want to show you is this auto tag feature. So if we go to tags and then go to auto generate group, this will pick sites that are in the top 10. It will look at SERP overlap, and then it will try and create tags that have only got at least 5 keywords in them. So if we plug this in, I actually use this when I'm struggling to categorize things because it spits out tagging ideas that I hadn't perhaps considered before. So you can see here now, it's created a lot of tags. So Air Force One, Sports Direct, but actually Air Force One suedes, black Nike Tech tracksuits, Converse, AstroTurf trainers, you can see here, that's a category. So you can then start going, okay, cool, there's different ways that this is tagged this to me. I'm going to pick some of these and try and plug them into my own stuff. Now, as we know, there's going to be a lot of brand here because we've plugged in domain level stuff rather than generics. But actually you can see here, look, leather walking boots, Crocs, Nike stuff, Nike categorization and queries. So you can then look at this and go, okay, based on this generated group, where does this look competitively? Which if you wanted to, you can then break down further. So you could look at topic combinations and look, this has now changed the whole landscape of this because it shows you the generated group in terms of like all of the subtopics. So if you look here, it's now split things down into like hiking boots, men's, waterproof jacket, women's. So yeah, you can go nuts with this. You can include all the tags you like and look at how things work. But what I mainly use it for is this kind of initial sizing in terms of what domains do we want to capture, where do we want to get keywords from, as well as third-party data from, well, this is third-party, but other data from SEMrush, Ahrefs, etc. How do you tag the information specifically? How do you want to present the data? And then how does the data actually look in a visual manner? Where does the volume sit? How does it look by subtopic? Which again, you have a choice over what you want to include and what you don't want to include. How do the combinations look? And then competitive insights speak for themselves. So all in all, a well-rounded tool to capture, tag, theme, and then visualize opportunity for yourself or for clients or for people that you work with. I would highly recommend it if you get a chance to test the tool. The tool name is Voxel, but the domain name is voxeltool.io. You can get a free demo, and if you need a run through, let me know. I can do that, or I can ask the team at Voxel themselves to help you out with testing it and getting the most out of it. So yes, hopefully this was useful. I use this tool daily. I'd highly recommend it alongside some of the other tools as well. These are all supplementary, but if you want to tag opportunity size and really show the value of the information that you're gathering, this is a tool to use. So yeah, over and out. I'll catch you on the next one.